Good morning, I'm Doug Smalley.
And I'm Kelly Jones.
And we're here to introduce you and explain all the things to do with vehicle-to-vehicle technology. We're going to introduce you today to the technology that will propel your company into the future. We are looking at ways that vehicle-to-vehicle technology will be very cost-effective, will help you in the technological department and in security issues. To further carry on this introduction, I'll let Kelly take the floor.
Visualize a workday without any driving accidents. Picture a week where no accident insurance claims have to be filed. Envision a month where no phone calls are made to a worker's loved ones telling them that there's been an accident. And finally, imagine a year without any vehicle fatalities. Our roadways can be made a safer place. Roadway accidents and fatalities are a major concern for this company. In 2014 alone, there were over 32,000 fatalities on our nation's roadways. Accident insurance in this economy are at an all-time high. There's no price tag for loss of life on our roadways. Numerous tests and studies have concluded there is a better way. Vehicle-to-vehicle communication, or V2V for short. V2V will offer this company many benefits. With the ability to alert drivers of traffic conditions, time can be saved. Preventing collisions and mishaps, lives can be saved. By lowering the amount of accident claims and repairs, paperwork can be reduced. As a result, greater awareness creates more efficient drivers. So, what is V2V? V2V is a communication and alert system based on wireless technology. Drivers can be informed of traffic conditions and reroute if needed. Driving times can be lowered because the system will be aware of congested traffic areas as well. This technology can sense and help prevent accidents. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration predicts that with V2V technology, the number of accidents can be lowered by 70 to 80%. Wow. Now I'm going to turn things over to Doug so he can explain the technology behind V2V communications.
Thank you. So what is this V2V all about? V2V is based upon some of the current safety devices that we have today, and it also utilizes wireless technology. Vehicles can now communicate with one another. Blind spot detection was developed by Rigole about 10 years ago. It uses ultrasonic and radar transceivers to emit and collect signals. Similar to a bat sonar, the VSD sends out signals that bounce back to alert drivers in areas they cannot see. The tones emitted by the alert system get louder the closer an object is to a vehicle. There can also be vibrations in the steering wheel and in the seat, and a flashing warning on the dash or in the side view mirrors. Backing into objects, forward collision warning, or FCW, also uses radar, lasers, and camera sensors to detect forward threats. Some manufacturers even allow the system to take control of the braking system when a collision is detected. The reduction in speed will minimize casualties and damage. Lane departure is another similar advancement. It uses a camera to monitor the driving lanes and will notify a driver if the lane departure is detected, like the warning of the FCW and the VSD utilize. Akin to the FCW, the detection system in some models will attempt to take control of the vehicle and get it back onto the right track. Rear cameras and dashboard displays assist the driver warning of obstacles behind them. I know we've all felt like this, but I hope no one ever dozes off at the wheel. Warn devices or camera and facial recognition software monitor the driver looking for drowsiness. Signals and alarms will help alert the driver of drowsiness and suggest they pull over or get a cup of joe. All of these technologies are great for singular drivers, but we need a way for vehicles to talk to one another. Wireless technology is the best option. Some of the first V2V almost had it right. What they needed was a good wireless system to base the whole technology on. And today we have that wireless technology. Most of us are familiar with the 802.11 family, or simply Wi-Fi. These are the IEEE standards for wireless communication. This is currently uses the most widely wireless band that allows communication for many of our wireless technologies, such as cell phones and tablets and computers, to connect to the internet. In 2012, the Department of Transportation allocated 802.11p. This broadband is set aside for V2V communication. Here you can see that many connections are possible within this bandwidth. The Department of Transportation is aiming to have 90% of light-duty vehicles filling our highways by 2040. Taking the lead on this technology is General Motors, who is slated to release the first commercial V2V system by 2017. This Cadillac will feature another new technology called Super Cruise. Super Cruise and V2V will allow drivers to travel hands-free during long stretches of road. The new technology is not currently capable of point-to-point driving, but it is clearly a step beyond the simple cruise control. And how all this technology, once combined, become V2V? Here are a few scenarios that V2V will address once implemented. When information about a car in front of you that is slowing or stopped, V2V will warn you if you don't see the vehicle. Lane changing will be more readily deciphered by the V2V system once it gains information on surrounding vehicles. And blind intersections will become less dangerous with onboard equipment. Well, that about covers the V2V technology and some of the systems behind it. Are there any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Smalley, for that explanation. I was wondering a little bit about the cost of implementation of this technology.
Thank you, Steve. That's a great question. So, what is the cost of V2V technology? Well, as with most technologies, the price is expected to change over the years. Before getting into V2V costs, I should first reference Moore's Law. Moore's Law tells us that the cost and size of technology as a whole decreases over time, but the processing power of technology will continue to double, roughly every 18 to 24 months. As an initial investment, the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration estimates that the equipment and the supporting functions will cost around $350 per vehicle in 2020. This may seem high at first, but the prediction also sees a steady decrease over the years to as low as $250 per vehicle by 2058. All the costs for this technology implementation can be broken down in 4 areas: onboard equipment, fuel cost, secure credential management system, and security certificates. First, we'll take a look at onboard equipment, or OBE. This cost will cover the communication equipment that will allow vehicles to talk to one another when they are in the same proximity. The second cost will be reflected in slightly increased fuel costs due to the added equipment. It's estimated that the weight of the onboard equipment will weigh about 3.45 pounds, but keeping Moore's Law in mind, the cost is projected to diminish over time as the weight of the equipment is expected to become less. Thirdly, we have the Secure Credential Management System, or the SCMS. This system will enable vehicles to determine if the message is received from a trusted source. And finally, there will be a small cost for security certificates. This will allow secure communications between the OBE and the SCMS. Initially, the first 3 years will be given at no cost, but after 3 years, certificates can be purchased for a minimal cost of $3.14 for yearly updates to help assure that your vehicle is equipped with an ongoing secure connection. I hope this gives you a good idea on the cost of implementing this system, and I'm sure you can see the benefit will quickly become apparent once the technology is deployed. Are there any questions?
Well, it sounds like there'd be a good rate of return, but what security features need to be established?
Another good question. Let me try to shed some light on that. Some people worry about security and privacy while using V2V. Some people worry that the police might just start giving out tickets by scanning cars around them. Other folks worry about hackers controlling their cars, the roadways, or gaining information in drivers. Security is a concern to many of us, and there are several measures already in place to address these concerns. These standards concern communication, privacy, certificate management, and the revocation and physical security. There are two forms of technology to consider when setting these standards: the V2V and Vehicle to Infrastructure, or V2I. These together are known as Vehicle to Everything. When a vehicle is communicating with another vehicle, it will use certificates in order to encrypt those messages. This ensures the message is verified and allowed to avoid non-certified messages from being received by the vehicle. Privacy will be protected by changing pseudonyms after certain events, either a set time period or an action by the vehicle, such as the engine starting. A certificate management system will be implemented in order to issue, renew, and revoke certificates. Manufacturers use the SCMS to ensure the safety of V2X and the passengers utilizing a V2X equipped vehicle. These are their primary issues. There are other security measures being examined in order to overcome the challenges of this emerging technology. But the United States government and automakers are taking the necessary steps to ensure that these are addressed prior to the expected deadlines for all new cars being built after 2019, to include this new form of technology. Companies are planning for future advances and the security needs and all the possibilities. IntelliDrive envisions connecting all things roadway related in a convenient and secure way. We hope you feel confident and secure in your decision to adapting V2V technology to this company.
All right, so if there's no further questions, we're going to wrap things up. I know there was a mind-boggling amount of technologies and projections during this whole talk, but I like to remember the clarity Abraham Lincoln displayed when commenting on future investments. The best way to predict the future is to create it. And creating a future utilizing V2V technology will save lives and money.
We have covered some of the reasons to invest in V2V communication. We've delved into the technology behind this amazing equipment. You saw the predictions and the costs and ways in which lives can be saved as well as money. And we answered some of your security concerns. In closing, we want to say thank you for your time and your consideration. We hope this look into the future possibilities has been enlightening and shown you ways in which you can impact your drivers, your business, your community, and even the world with V2V communication. Thank you.
Thank you.